The wonders in science has always elevated our curiosity to learn more about science. Dear students, today we have with us Dr. Ravisha, Head of Department of Physics, CMR Institute of Technology, which is NAC A++ accredited engineering college in Kundalahalli, Bangalore. Sir obtained PhD degree from Bangalore University and has been teaching engineering students from the past 26 years. His field of interest is astrophysics, optics, electromagnetics. Sir and his colleagues has been developing working models, videos to showcase principles of physics with an objective of making physics learning joyful. They conduct training programs for students and teachers. This enables students to learn the applications of physics and inculcate problem solving techniques and improve application skills. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Ravi sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
I heartily welcome our principal, Dr. G.S. Nalini ma'am, MES Vidyasagara, Professor MPL Shastri P. College, who is a source of motivation and constant support for both students and teachers. Welcome. Now I request Dr. Ravi sir to address the students.
I'm really glad to be here talking to you. Today, my objective is very clear. I want to show you a few experiments, and in the evening when you reach home, I want you to think of few extraordinary things that will happen in your life. It's very easy every day coming to college, going home, again tomorrow doing homework and coming back. That completes our day. But we don't really ask questions every day. We don't really think for ourselves. ನಾನಂತೂ ನನ್ನ PUC, BSc, MSc, PhD ಮುಗಿಯೋವರೆಗೂ ಐ ನೆವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮೈ ಓನ್. ನನಗೆ PhD ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಮೈ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸೋ ಪೂರ್. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪರಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಕೆನ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಿಸ್? ಎ ಗ್ರಾಜ್ಯುಯೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ PhD ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Can you help your mother by lighting up a bulb by your creativity? ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ? See, if we do not become innovative, creative, we cannot create jobs. Our country will never change. So easiest way to change our country is not to change others. First, let us change ourselves, ask some questions and do some innovative experiments. Can you create 100 jobs for some people, let us say? If I challenge you, ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಇನ್ನು 10 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, 100 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ ನಾನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ 100 ಕಡೆಗೆ, 100 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ ಯಾರು ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡೋದು ನಮ್ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಕೆಲಸ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಾರಿ. ಚೈನಾ, ತೈವಾನ್ ಈ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 1 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್, ದೇ ಇನ್ವೆಂಟ್, ದೇ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೊ ವಿ ಥಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇಟ್. ನಾನು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಬರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ನಾನು 20 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮೈ ಡೇ, ದಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ ವೇ ಐ ಟಾಕ್. ಮೈ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಮೆಟ್ ಎ 5th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಔಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡನ್ ಎನ್ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್. ಆ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ತೋರಿಸೋದು ನನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶ. ನಾನು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ PhD ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು 5ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಏನೇನೋ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮೈ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇದು KR ಪುರಂ ಹತ್ರ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಸೀವೇಜ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂ 100 ಹೌಸಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಬರೋ ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಸೀವೇಜ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕೆರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ನಾವ್ ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೀವ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಬರೋ ವೆಜಿಟಬಲ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಎಸಿದೀವಿ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ನಾವು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ there won't be any place left in Bangalore to dump the garbage. Government will say from tomorrow, no auto rickshaw will come to collect garbage from your house. You have to keep it in your house and recycle it ಅನ್ನತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ದಿನ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, 2 ದಿನ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, 5 ದಿನ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಬಕೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. You can't stay in your house. Then you will start worrying, scratching your head. What do I do with it? How do I recycle it? ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Ask yourself, using my physics, maths, chemistry, biology, electronics, computer, how can I convert the waste in my house to best? Then you will realize every chapter in physics can help you. Every chapter in chemistry can help you. Maths becomes most important. Maths becomes most common knowledge for everybody from doctor to a layman. Then you will realize I have to go to college every day. I have to ask 100 questions. I cannot keep quiet like this. Newton asked one simple question. Why is moon not falling down? And you know that is responsible for 3,000 satellites revolving around the earth today. India in another few days is landing a spacecraft on moon. All this because Newton gave us one simple equation. What was that equation? Okay. See here, Newton gave one equation. He wanted to find out why moon is not falling down. He realized an object like piece of chalk will fall down if I drop it like this, but it will never fall down if I throw it horizontally with a velocity given by this formula. This was the formula which in 11th standard you all have been taught. See this velocity of an object, if it has to revolve around the earth, then write mass of the earth here, distance from earth. Now find the velocity of moon. Mass of the earth, you know, substitute it. Go home. Today you must do this activity, math activity. See here, you need to know what is square root. You need to solve this. Put Earth's moon distance 3,80,000 kilometers, convert it to meter. Simplify this. You will get to know around 5 to 7 kilometers per second is the speed of any spacecraft that has to revolve around the Earth. ನೀವು ನಾಳೆ ಇಸ್ರೋ ನಾಸಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? They will ask you, if I have to make this piece of chalk revolve around the earth, what velocity will you give it? Then you will ask yourself, this question was never asked in any book anywhere in my life. You will realize that a piece of chalk can become earth satellite if you give 7 kilometer velocity per second. Now to give 7 kilometer per second velocity, I have nothing except rockets. Only rockets can give me this velocity, and now India has made rockets. You may ask, why should we make rockets? Why should we spend 100 crores, 200 crores, 500 crores for moon mission when we don't have an IIT in Karnataka? One IIT we have. With 500 crores, you can make 5 IITs. Now tell me, sending a moon mission, is it more useful or creating 5 IITs in Karnataka? Or 5 super specialty hospitals in Karnataka? Some of you may say, sir, we should have IITs. But I will say, in 100 years, moon tourism will give you more than 1,000 crores. Moon tourism will become so common. Mars tourism will become so common. Every rich man will pay 10 lakhs, go for 2 days and come back to moon. If you have more cheaper, efficient satellites. It is just one application I'm telling you. You bring 1 kg of helium-3 from moon. It will become nuclear fuel for all our reactors. India will be self-sustained in electricity for 365 days, 24 hours. So 500 crores is nothing, I tell you. So we cannot compare development work with research work. Today it is a costly business, yes, but soon you will see this moon mission will create 1,000 engineers in India who will innovate, who will take our country forward. So now, one formula in physics changed the world. Now, but I want to show you another formula and another experiment conducted by a 10th standard dropout in England. 1832, 10th standard student in England asks a simple question. What was that question? Okay, here I have a coil. Please see this. I have a coil of wire. Whenever you get piece of copper wire, ask yourself, what can I do with it? Michael Faraday's question was, how to drive electrons through this wire? Was a simple question. See, Newton was wondering why moon is not falling down. What makes it to revolve around the earth? No one answered that question. He himself discovered law of gravitation, wrote some equations, and we have a different world today. Correct? Now, moon, Michael Faraday asked a simple question, how to drive electrons through this wire? We all know this is a metal. It has got free electrons. It will conduct electricity. Everything we memorize and write it in the exam. But now I'll ask you, I want you to make electrons flow through this, and I'll connect a bulb. I want bulb to light up. Look at this. This is my challenge to you. I have a coil. See this? I'll connect a bulb to it. No wire, nothing. Do you think this bulb will glow if I connect like this? No battery, nothing. And immediately you'll say no. Now I'll show you the bulb will glow. And physics drives the car. And that is why you are studying physics here. No battery, then how can the bulb glow? Where is the energy coming from? Somebody must lose energy and make the bulb glow. I lose my mechanical energy and make the bulb glow. Faraday wanted to drive current through a wire. So he said, there are free electrons in this. It's like, see, you all are sitting here. Imagine no teacher, no one here. Then all of you will be randomly moving, randomly talking, chat. But the moment we all come in, you all become more disciplined, organized soldiers. No one will talk. Everyone focused. Okay? Now, the electrons in this copper wire are also randomly moving. Chaos inside now. Only Faraday, 10th standard school dropout, said, bring a magnet close to it that might change the behavior of these electrons. No other scientist of the day, great scientists were there. Ohm, Gauss, mathematician, they were all there. Humphrey Davy. No one ever thought you can make electrons flow with a magnet. So Faraday brought a magnet close to it. Now I'll bring a magnet. See this? I have a magnet in my hand. Where did I get this magnet? You get magnets in speakers. Correct? I got this magnet from hard disk of a computer. Okay? Now ask yourself, I'll give you a question. Why do you need magnets in the hard disk of the computer? Have you ever tried to find the components in a computer hard disk? This helps in storing information. How can this do it? Please go home, start reading about it, make a one-page report, come to the class and present it. Develop this habit. In 1 year, you will become a scientist, I tell you. Every day, find one question, find some answer, start discussing with your friends, present it in the class. You are going to become an innovator. You go home, don't do any study, don't ask any questions. After 1 year, you will still be a lazy person. Lazy, no creativity, nothing. We'll keep on blaming others for not helping us. You want to become creative? Every day ask one question. The same question, keep on repeating, thinking alone at home. Just spend time thinking, asking questions. You will change. You will see someone helping you. You will see help coming from some corner. Every day you will move forward. Others will lag behind. I told you, today we don't have any dustbin which will recycle in our house. Correct? In 10 years, you wait for this. After 10 years, there won't be any place left in Bangalore to dump the garbage. You will see China coming here dumping their magic dustbins. They are making magic dustbins. You know what? Take the dustbin, put vegetable waste into it. After a week, you will get manure, you can sell it. They'll make one more dustbin. Put all the flowers, waste flowers after each festival in your house. Collect waste flowers from the temples. Put it into the dustbin magic tank. After 1 day of fermentation, it will give you perfume for your house. You don't have to buy any perfume. You will get perfume from flowers. And then, you know what projects my students are doing at CMRIT? Extracting components from flowers and use it to make soaps and detergents. So from now, I realize there is no waste material in the world. You cannot say the waste coming from an hospital itself is a waste. No. There is a possibility that you can recycle it. Now, you have a computer not working in your school and college, open it, take magnet from it. There are fans, take it. You will see now, in our college, we have made air cooler from the waste fans we get from computer. Can we do all such things? This is the age you should do it. I know you are busy in your 12 tuitions, IIT, NEET, but after that, after 1 year at least, you must start working on these experiments. You cannot really waste time. We can't miss the race now. Now I'll show you what Faraday's experiment was. He brought the magnet close to the coil. This is what he made. And the world changed. And there was light in every house. One school dropout does one experiment. Coil magnet was there in every college, every school, probably every country. But no one tried this experiment. Supposed to be a foolish experiment. He brought magnet close to it and he saw current flowing in it. So I'll take a voltmeter now, connect it to this and show you current flowing. And we'll light up a bulb now with this. So take the multimeter. You have this multimeter in your school, in your college, connect this, okay? Very simple experiment. I did this after my PhD. I want you to do it in your 12th standard so that you try so many such experiments before you complete your education. See this? I've connected it. I turn on this and it shows zero, right? Zero voltage. No voltage, nothing, no current flowing. Now I bring this magnet. 1832 Faraday does this. The next day, the world is changed. The fate of human beings on the world, the civilization changed. One fellow changes the fate of civilization by doing one experiment. Now, see here, this will be your CET question. You bring a magnet close to the coil. Now, put them at rest. No change, right? In your CET, you'll get this question. In your Faraday's coil and magnet experiment, both are at rest. No response. Now, Faraday made a change. No, he moved it. You see some response here? Connect it properly. Okay. Now see this. You are seeing the response. Are you not seeing it? The voltage current is flowing through this. Now no current, zero. Now you bring magnet, keep it at rest, no current. One of them should be at rest. There must be a relative motion. And you get, see, when I move it up, plus, minus, alternating current is produced now. This is what generator is. This is happening in your hydropower station, nuclear power station, thermal power station, wind power station. One Faraday creates million jobs. One experiment. No teacher asked him to do this experiment. It was his creativity. His mind was restless, like Newton's mind. Newton is called restless man. He would never keep quiet, never would he stop thinking. Faraday was doing all such experiments. So people asked Faraday, what do you do with this? Galvanometer is showing some deflection. What can we do? It will not help any common man, people said. But Faraday said, just wait. Our life will change from it. Government will get revenue from this. Our common man will benefit from it. Soon he made generator. So now I'll take a bigger coil. Okay? I'll increase the number of turns. So what I'll do, I'll take a bigger coil. Look at this. My students made this coil. Take a plastic frame. Take thinner copper wire. Insulated copper wire. Wind it 20,000 turns in it. Okay? Now we have connected a bulb here. No galvanometer, nothing, a bulb, LED bulb. How much voltage is required for it to glow? 1.5. Correct. Now I bring the magnet close to it. No electricity. Now move it. The moment people saw this, people thought Faraday is a genius. Till the bulb was discovered, people found Faraday doing some strange experiments in his lab. But one light could change. See, now all the lights in every house on this earth is working because of this. 99%. 1% is from solar cells, chemical batteries. 99% of the power is coming from either hydropower station, water falls on the turbine, rotates it. Nuclear power station, steam. Thermal power station, steam is rotating. Wind is rotating. In your CET, you know what question you will get? Now I'll keep the magnet at rest. I'll move it. Do you get electricity now? No? Now see it. Are you getting it or not? You get it. Now I'll move both together. You don't get electricity. See this. Now I'll move them in opposite direction. You get highest velocity. Highest. These 4 questions, one of them will definitely come in your CET exam. To answer it, you have to memorize for next 1 year if you don't do an experiment. But if you do it, no memory required for till next 1 year or rest of your life, you can answer it anytime, right? So one experiment can change the world, can change your life, can change us. So we should cultivate somehow ability to ask questions and find answers by doing experiments. So this was one experiment with which Faraday changed our life. But now I will show you Faraday's brother in Bangalore. How do I call this person as Faraday's brother? Because he does not know who Faraday was. He does not know what physics is all about. No electromagnetic concept of electromagnetic induction. But this fellow changed this place. This is a waste, garbage water tank, sewage water tank. I used to travel here, and as a physics graduate, I used to think this is the filthiest place, waste place, mosquito breeding ground, never go close to it. But this person, Mr. Balakrishna, says this is the most creative place in the world. This is a national asset. We should fight not for pure water, we should fight for drainage water also. We should not allow our drainage water to go to other state. We should recycle it, use it for our farmers. Now, how do you get electricity out of it? So I'll start the video now. Just watch it. I'll go there. Of this. Okay. Now just see this. This is a pond lake where drainage water is stored. As an engineering college teacher, I had no clue how can you get electricity here. See, this is the drainage water flowing. Now go back to your 11th standard. What is the velocity of this water? What is the kinetic energy of this water? Can you ask yourself? We see water flowing. We never think of its kinetic energy. Now tell me kinetic energy of this. How much is it? You know the formula for kinetic energy? Very nice. See, we all memorize it and remember till our CET exams. Okay? Once we complete our exams, forget all the formula. But now see this. This person does not know what this kinetic energy formula is. He knows, see, approximately 100 liters of water is going. 10 buckets of water is going inside the turbine. 10 buckets means 100 liters. And 1 liter is 1 kg, 100 kg. So substitute here half mv square. Now velocity, find it. You tell me. What is the velocity of that water? 1 meter per second. So convert it half into 100 kg into 1. You get 50 joules from this. Only 50 joules. But potential energy you are missing. What is potential energy? mgh. Now again calculate m 100, g 10, h let it be 1 meter, 1000 joules. You see around 1000 joules in this water. Correct? Now, what is he doing there? He has invested 20 lakhs from his pocket to make this turbine. He is not an engineer, no physics, chemistry knowledge. Okay? He has made this turbine. He has used a generator. I'll just forward it a bit. Now see what happens. See, here is the gear system required to rotate the motor. You see the motor now. Generator, sorry. Okay, this is the generator. Here. Inside the generator, there is magnet rotating with respect to the coil. Faraday's law. Okay. Now I want you to find the power generated by this. We'll connect voltmeter and ammeter, right? Ammeter should be connected in series. In 12th, you do experiment, right? Now connect an ammeter to this. Voltmeter should be in parallel. We'll do that. Now you see the voltage and current and tell me what is the power generated by this hydropower station. He has connected this to 50 street lights. Can you imagine? Drainage water flowing in front of your house has the ability to light up 50 street lights. So tell me the voltage and current and use your power formula, 12th standard formula. Voltage around 500, current 2 amps. See this? 500 volt, 2 amps. So power is around 1000 watt. Correct? So every tube light may require say 40 watt. So you can light up more than 20-25 light bulbs here. He is lighting up street lights with this. As a physics teacher, this changed my thought process. I had no clues till I saw this, how is electricity produced, how to recycle things, and I never realized my responsibility as a teacher also. This visit really changed my life 20 years back. And after that, I started asking questions. What am I really teaching in the class? I'm just going and uttering something and coming back. That will never have any effect on the students unless I do experiments. So in our college, we keep trying new ideas, new experiments. Few students come to our college and do some experiments. 10 students come and try the innovations. Now, I'll just take you to the last part of this video and see the bulbs, street lights. See this? Working, right? Now ask yourself, we see so many such places where drainage water is flowing across Bangalore. Not just for drainage water, the river water is flowing. You travel to Dharmasthala, you see so much of water simply flowing. Correct? Now what are we doing with that energy? God has given really lot of resources. God will really be regretting every day that these people whom I have created and given them resources, they are just wasting their time. They are not even thinking on why have we given all this. We are simply blaming the government for not giving us enough electricity. But are we doing any responsibility, taking any responsibility for turning this into useful product? Ask yourself. We all have a big responsibility on our shoulders to convert every waste material into best There is no waste as such, I'll tell you. We should stop using the word waste because I thought drainage water is a waste thing. I'll have to take back now. Now, the waste coming from the hospital, is it really a waste? It looks like a waste material for some years. You will see someone converting it into usable product and then again will regret for not doing it for by ourselves. So, physics, every chapter in physics, I'm realizing helps us to become problem solvers, not problem creators. We create problem every day wherever we go. We travel in the bus, shout at somebody. We don't give change to the conductor, he shouts at us. Go home and blame our parents, food is not tasty. Come back, we are not in class, teachers are not helping us. We only blame others, we create problems. Can we take the ownership and solve it? Change the situation. If other students are talking, disturbing the class, we never ask them to keep quiet. We never do anything for it. We blame others instead. Okay? Every problem that you see around you, you have to solve it. No one else will come and help you. We have to become problem solvers, not solving one or two physics problems. No way. The real life problems, can you solve it? So for that, you need a lot of skills. Physics can give you skills. Maths can give you skills. You may ask me, sir, what are you telling? Maths, can we get some skills? And now in the last 20 years, what I've learned is fundamentally, God is a mathematician. Everybody who has written best books in physics, they say, God is an advanced mathematician. He created our solar system using maths formula. Why did Earth get third place in the solar system? You tell me. Why is next Mars? Why did God decide first should Mercury, then Venus, then Earth? How was these distances fixed? How did God design the solar system? You know what? Kepler, high school maths teacher, 1627, when he was teaching maths for kids, high school kids, realizes the strange maths involved in our solar system. He said God must be a mathematician. He saw God using geometry to create our solar system. I had never realized this. I had never known I have to be a good mathematician to teach physics well. I realized Newton, Galileo, Maxwell, Faraday, they were all maths teachers. Galileo was a maths teacher professionally. Newton was maths teacher. Einstein, maths teachers. They used every bit of maths to represent every natural process. Now, I move the magnet with respect to the coil, I get electricity, right? Now, you know what mathematicians do? If you show this to mathematicians, they'll immediately write a differential equation for it. They already have written, before Faraday did this, they had done a differential equation. Now, what is the differential equation? EMF induced in a coil is proportional to d phi by dt, rate of change of magnetic flux. You have Faraday's law, first order differential equation. The moment I say something, mathematician says it is an equation, use it. This is a capability of mathematicians. Before any physicist, any engineer does something, they write it in pen and pencil, some equation. 1920, I think, Ramanujan wrote one equation and passed away. 1970, now 2023. People are saying all Ramanujan's equations are fitting for black holes here. You need all that for black hole. Ramanujan had not heard of what black hole was. How did he write all this? This is what maths can do for us. Never neglect maths, I'll tell you, you become handicapped. You cannot invent, develop anything. One equation by Maxwell, you know what? 1865, Maxwell writes one differential equation. Only one. Out of four, one becomes so important for us. With one equation, we learn how to produce electromagnetic wave, and then Marconi makes the radio, and then TV, mobile, and every one of us have a mobile phone in our pocket. One equation changed it. One differential equation, first order differential equation. Maxwell just wrote this. See this? You can't even understand this equation. Del cross H is J plus dou D by dou T. You can't really say anything on it. Look at this very vague, weird expression. First order differential equation. Marconi understood this. J.C. Bose in India understood this. Hertz understood. Those three changed our world. Created $1 million business out of this. What is this equation is telling you? Know? You get magnetic field H, not just by flow of current. Flow of current produces magnetic field. Every physics teacher knows. Every physics book explains. Not only that, oscillation of charges. D is epsilon into E. Your 12th standard repeating, I'm repeating Gauss law, 12th standard electric flux density. Okay? Dou E by dou T is rate of change of electric field produces magnetic field. Changing magnetic field produces electric field. Faraday's law. Faraday's law, del cross E equal to minus dou B by dou T. This too will create electromagnetic wave. And through electromagnetic waves, today we transmit data, we communicate through electromagnetic waves that has become part of our life. Two differential equations, right? So maths I see somehow connected with everything that we do in our real life. Slowly you will see even doctors start using maths. You get stomachache, there will be an equation for it. You get toothache, there will be an equation for it. Till you find an equation, you will never solve these problems permanently. Every day I get headache, I take some tablet, forget it. Tomorrow again. We have not been able to eliminate migraine, headaches, all these pains. Every day somebody will have headache. Correct? Why is that? We have no control over it because there is no equation for it. We don't really know why is it happening. We know some vaguely some tablet will reduce the pain, not solve the problem, right? So still we have lots of things which are outside the mathematical net. We don't know tomorrow whether it's going to rain. We have some equations to derive it, but whenever we have a prediction that tomorrow there will be heavy rain, you may not get any rain. But at least cyclones we have been exactly predicting and taking suitable action, saving thousands of lives, right? For all this prediction, you will learn as engineers in few years, artificial intelligence, linear algebra becomes your bread and butter later. You will have to make a lot of calculations through it. So maths becomes most fundamental, never neglected. But I keep asking you questions. What do I do with differential equations? Why do I need a differential equation? Without differential equation, we would not have launched a rocket. We could not have reached moon. In few days, we are reaching moon. All this because of one rocket equation. So what is rocket equation? Look at this. F equal to m d square x by dt square. Second order differential equation. I write this as dm by dt into dv by dt, dx by dt. This is rocket equation. Rate of change. Mass is also changing with time in a rocket. Fuel is burning. And its velocity. So it is same Newton's second law. This is rocket equation. So the moment you want to do something, maths will enter the picture. You can't do away with it. Correct? So now, what next? After Faraday created this, people started using electricity. Now Faraday conducts one more experiment and again creates another million jobs. What was that experiment? People keep asking him, what is the use of electricity? You have done so many experiments you do every day. Tell us, what do you do with electricity? Faraday said, see, we'll use electricity to help common man. How? We'll convert electrical energy to mechanical energy. Now you saw first my mechanical energy becoming electrical energy, right? Now Faraday said we'll convert electrical to mechanical. How? So I'll take the same coil and pass current through it. Okay? See this? I have same coil, magnet, and one battery. 9-volt battery. Look at this. Can you ever believe these three created 1 million jobs on earth or even more? How can you create million jobs from these three? Now ask yourself, when you press the button, fan rotates, mixer grinder rotates, washing machine rotates, water pump rotates, your mobile phone vibrates, speaker, microphone, all this they work. They all are converting electrical to mechanical. Every fan manufacturer, washing machine manufacturer, mixer grind manufacturer, water pump manufacturer owes their origin to Faraday's experiment. Now I'll take a coil, I'll pass current through it. Okay? We are not generating electricity now. I'm supplying electricity. Okay? So this is a battery. Connected to this. You need a good battery as such. Okay? And another to this. A new battery will really help you. Okay, let us see whether it works now. Now current is passing through this coil. If you want to do it, please take precautions, take teacher's guidance. You must have more turns, 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 turns. Now this has become a magnet now. When current flows through a conductor, it produces magnetic field. Now take another magnet, you will see Fleming's left-hand rule playing. Look at this. A current carrying conductor kept in magnetic field experiences a mechanical force. Now I want washing machine from this. See here, I want phone vibration, fan rotation, everything happens from this. My mixer grinder, water pump, CD drive, everything is working because of this. In every device you have a battery current source. Now see this repulsion. When Faraday showed this, people got an idea to make water pump, fan, everything. Today every house requires 10 fans. Every house, one mixer grinder, one water pump. How many products are being made? How many people are employed? All this by 10th standard school dropout Michael Faraday. He keeps on getting questions and does one experiment, changes our fate. How come no one else was doing these experiments? His guru, Humphrey Davy, was a professional physicist, but somehow he missed out doing these simple experiments. So always we wish to do big experiments. My suggestion is start from simple experiments. Do not really look at high bigger experiments. No. Start from the simplest experiment that you can imagine in your house. Imagine, ask yourself, go home today, look at the dustbin in your house. You see waste paper in it, you see vegetable waste in it, then tell me what you do if tomorrow no one collects it. Find an answer to it. You will not get an answer in one day. Don't worry. Second day, third day, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. Don't stop till you get an answer to it. Do a tapasya. Only then you will find an answer. I'll tell you. Otherwise, you will see someone from other country bringing their product dumping in your house. Your money will create jobs in those countries. You will become jobless, unemployed, but you are funding those people. Instead, we have big problems here. Each problem is an opportunity. You have to make use of it now. Otherwise, I'll tell you, we'll miss the race. So please, every day you must have a problem in your mind. When you see something called within quotes waste, ask yourself, you must make it best. There is no waste material. Take words from me. There is no waste material. What is if there is a waste material? Then we human beings are waste people. Then we are not converting anything to useful product. If you think there is no waste material, then we must work hard to convert the so-called waste into best. It is possible if you become creative, if you ask questions, correct? So please find some question. You may say, sir, who will give me question? Who will help me? Where is the laboratory? I am busy with all this. Correct. True. I agree. There is no help coming to you. No help will come to you unless you demand, unless you work hard. See, God will be forced to send someone to help you if you are really deserving. How do you pressurize God? Put in more sacrifice, put in more hard work. Otherwise, God will never look at you. I'll tell you, you will never get help from anyone. You ask yourself, why did I come today and talk to you then? Maybe because some invisible force is driving me to talk to you. Someone in this group is destined to do something great in future, possibly. He will get at least 1% benefit from what I'm talking. He'll start working on some problem, possibly. So we will get, see, I was a layman 20 years back. I was still teaching physics, but I met this person. He kept on helping us. And see, today I have something to show. So like this, we all, if we ask questions, we can really change things. Now, next application. After this Faraday created magnetic field, I'll now want to show you magnetic field. We generally talk in physics, flow of current produces magnetic. Where is magnetic field? Show us. We don't really ask. I never asked this question to my teachers. My teachers told something, I wrote it in the exam, passed some, got some marks, and happy with it. I never realized, do I really apply anywhere? Application skills very poor. So that cannot really help us. That is why we don't really make products in India, because our applications are so poor. We know how to solve, memorize everything, but late at the end of the day, we forget everything after the exam. So whereas go to Taiwan, go to Finland, how come they have changed? They sell every product that India purchases. Taiwan, the smallest country. How come you go and meet some school kids there? They are so restless. Those kids will not sit and listen like this. They want something to play around, they want some device, they want to make something. You cannot make them sit and teach like this, no lectures there. Every class is an activity, experiment. Teachers have to struggle hard to make the class interesting. Otherwise, students say, no, I'm not understanding. No, I'm not understanding. They want something live, experiment in the class. So, see the growth they are making. Every student is a scientist there. So now I want to see magnetic field. How can we do it? Very simple experiment. I'll take copper wire coil, pass current and take iron powder near it. And you will see now, witness the magnetic field. See here, I'll play the video now.
Here is a straight conductor carrying current. We have fixed a cardboard here, and the iron filings are uniformly sprinkled to see the field pattern.
Okay. See here is a straight copper wire, passing current through it, and perpendicular to the current, we have fixed a cardboard with iron powder on it. Correct? Now I'll pass current 25 volts. Here we are passing current. I'm just gently tapping it. Iron powder is aligning along the circular lines. You see that? And this picture, you will now remember your right hand thumb rule which you see in physics textbooks. The same picture they show in textbooks, right? Current is flowing represented by the thumb. Fingers are curling around this. Now I take solenoid. Watch this. I take a solenoid. Have you seen MRI scanning? MRI scanning, have you visited hospitals? You see the patient getting into a cylindrical coil. See, this is the solenoid. You see the solenoid wound. See, we have around 2000 tons of copper wire wound on a plastic frame, and at the center, cardboard iron filings. Right? You have now randomly arranged iron filings. This is MRI scanner. Some of you are going to become engineers. You have to develop better MRI scanning devices in next 10 years. You know, scientists at GE make MRI scanning, ventilators, all this. Who are making all this? People who study engineering. Doctors tell us a lot of problems. Now doctors want solution. They need machines. How do I know health of my heart? Multimeter. If you fix it to my heart, will it show some voltage? Take this multimeter, fix it here. You will not see any voltage. But how do you get ECG graph? ECG graph is just plotting voltage, electric field around the heart. How do you design it? Now see this. You all know field inside the solenoid is along the axis. Your CT question, right? When you pass current through the solenoid, we all memorize that magnetic field will be along the axis. Now see for yourself, iron filings arranged along the axis. I just powered it. You see that clearly? Right? Okay. See here. Magnetic field can be seen, and doctors use magnetic field for our treatment. Suppose if I have a tumor in my body, how do I locate it? Suppose if I have blood clot in my brain, how do I locate it? Magnetic resonance imaging. Without this coil, doctors would not have located it. Your physics knowledge can get you a job after some time. But if you are creative, you cannot design this by just remembering what your teachers have taught you, what you have learned from the books. You must have asked some questions and tried something new. Correct? So please, when you learn any concept in maths or any subject, I tell you, ask simple question to yourself. Where do I apply this? If you don't ask this, you will remain a mute spectator, and the moment you go to NASA or ISRO for a job, they'll ask you, don't tell me what Newton's third law is. I want to send a rocket to Mars. Tell me, how do you make it? Can you tell me, have you ever asked yourself, how do I make a rocket? Tell me your practical experience, they'll ask. Don't tell me any law in physics. Don't write any program. We have everything available on the net. I have the textbooks of physics in our room. Tell me, how do you produce electricity? Tell me, if a rocket develops a snag, do you have a solution? Can you make an object fly? Okay, now I have this piece of chalk. They'll give you a pen. Make this fly. How do you make it? Tell us. I want this to fly. You have studied so much about Bernoulli theorem. Correct? How do you make this piece of chalk fly? Suddenly you will realize what? Then you will realize we really collapse when we get such questions. We don't have any answer to it. Because we have not really done, we have not flown a drone. We have not made a flying vehicle. We don't really know how things work. And you believe me, there is a best book which you all must read. I'll share it in my WhatsApp today. I'll give my number later. I'll share all these videos to you all. Watch it slowly. And I'll share a very good book called Physics of Impossible. This book really changed my way of thinking. It is written by a well-known physicist called Michaux. Abdul Kalam used to recommend this book for all physics teachers and students. In this book, Michal says, in next 50 years, you will not have your two-wheelers. They would have become flying bikes. Now, I'll ask you that today. Can you convert your bike two-wheeler into a flying bike? What does it require? Use all your physics. You are able to do it? Then tomorrow you will employ 1,000 people. You are not able to do it? You will have to find a job in that company later. Correct? Either if you learn it, you will create a job for others. You don't learn it, you will become an employee in other. Bill Gates, you know what he would say? I never got a rank anywhere in any exam. But all rank holders are in my company. Correct? This is what Bill Gates always says. He would always try experiments, create new things. But strangely, he would not do well in the exams. But I'm not saying you should not do well in your exams. You must score the highest good. But that is not complete success. Correct? Many of my classmates who failed in 10th standard, but very good, creative, they are still happy today, they are doing really well. But they were all truthful, very sincere, hardworking, they worked hard. They may not have created they may not have cleared some exams, but still they have really done well. So, what we really look for is ability to ask questions. Now, tell me, if your bike has to fly, what do? You will have to fix a propeller, right? You have seen drone flying. You have seen helicopter flying. HAL makes helicopters in Bangalore. So now take this. See this? Your first PU principle. Look at this. Now on 23rd, our Mars moon lander has to land on moon softly. Last time, 19, it collapsed, crash landed. Now ISRO is trying its best. On 23rd, they want the spacecraft now revolving around the moon at a height of 100 kilometers to land gently and sit on moon surface. Last time it just crash landed, collapsed. Now tell me, how can you help them? Use all your physics. You know how to fly a rocket. Now bring the rocket down slowly. What it takes is, now what is that they have done? They say when the spacecraft is landing, they will turn on rockets and which will fire air in the downward direction so that rocket experiences force in the opposite direction. It gets decelerated. It slowly and gently touches it. Correct? Or there must be a parachute system which slows down. That is the most terror moment. Correct? Now see this. Suppose I want this, it will fall like this, right? Now I'll just make it, I'll rotate it, it will now land very softly. See this? Now it won't crash land. Correct? There is some, you study so much about Bernoulli principle. We study so much about Bernoulli principle. Now, HAL people make use of Bernoulli principle to make their cars. Correct? Now, you find out how will ISRO succeed in landing the spacecraft softly. Just 2 days prior to that, on 21st, Russia is landing spacecraft in the same place. Correct? Now, all these are so creative experiments. Soon, if we succeed in it, maybe in 100 years, you will see moon tourism. You will see people spending every weekend there. Possible, and they may have to pay 10 to 20 lakhs. People are ready to pay. Instead of traveling to Badrinath, Kedarnath, people will fly there, come back. People, that becomes a resting ground, possibly for some people. But see, all this will happen if we master the technology. Mastering means applying the laws, converting it to a useful product, correct? So we saw now electricity, magnetism. Now I'll turn my attention to two more experiments. Now I'll show you two more methods of producing electricity. My students in my college, one of my students brought one piece of material. Okay, he said this cost 5 rupees in KR Market, SP Road. I had not seen it. Can you believe this? My 26 years of teaching, I do not know was it useful or not. First year engineering student one day brings a material like this to the class. See this? He says they want to create jobs. They want to create a company which makes a new type of innovative chappals, shoes. They say you wear the shoes, walk to your college, your mobile, you can charge with it. You don't have to do anything, just wear the shoes, just walk with it, jump with it, run, you will be charging mobile. Can you imagine your shoes having a torch in it? Can we have a shoes with a torch embedded in it so that I don't carry any other torch? As I walk in the night, I must get torch light. Or as I walk, as I jump, as I run on the footpath, can we charge our mobiles? They said this can do that. See, this is piezoelectric plate, 5 rupees. It has a big lesson to teach us. You know what the biggest lesson I learned from it? In physics, you say this is piezoelectricity. Apply pressure, hammer it. Okay, you hammer this, it develops voltage, undergoes polarization. This is not a conductor of electricity, but it can undergo polarization, charges get separated. One phase becomes positive, this becomes negative, potential difference is established. I'll take an LED and connect it now, light it up. But more than that, the lesson I learned from this is you apply pressure, you get, whenever you get stress in your life, you should not really collapse. You must convert it into an opportunity. All of us every day at the end of the day say we are so stressed. So much of homework in the college, so much we are not able to do it. I cannot continue attending the classes. All this we keep blaming everybody. But I'll tell you, there are so many things which always take stress. Throughout their life, this has to withstand stress. Hammering. Correct? Throughout my life, my legs have to withstand my weight. They cannot have any substitute for it. So it appears there are certain things which enjoy stress, and some of us we blame stress. We cannot withstand the stress. Now you will see this converting stress, the force, the pressure into electricity. I'll take an LED, apply pressure on it. Just see this. Take it. LED, it requires 1.5 volt. Connect it. Just connect it like this. One terminal this side, another terminal this side. PN junction. Correct? It's a diode. Now press it hard. I'm pressing it hard. Okay, go on pressing. And apply some more pressure. It's not lighting up, right? So I'll apply some more pressure. I'll tap it. You get some electricity. You see momentary voltage. Correct? Go on pressing like this. Now imagine 10 plates fixed to my chappal, shoes. Go on walking. Put it on the doormat of your house, on the footpath, on the traffic road where there is heavy traffic. It appears there is so much potential to generate electricity, right? This is not just that electricity. Now, you know what? In 12th standard dielectrics polarization, you learn what is called dipole. Correct? And go to a heart specialist today, ask him what is the heart. They say heart is a dipole. For a heart specialist, heart is a generator, heart is a dipole, it generates voltage. Now, how do I know the health of my heart? Take 2 probes, ECG, fix it to the heart, and the electric field around the heart is shown as an electric dipole. A dipole is 2 equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. I memorized this from my PUDs. I wrote it so many times, got some marks. But only now I realize it's so useful. I should have asked that question long time back. What is this dipole? Why am I learning it? What doctors? You go to a doctor, heart specialist, they'll say, I have some chest pain, neck pain. They say there is a short circuit in your heart. There are so many nerves which carry electricity. If they come in contact, then we feel some medical health issue. They say remove this short. Then if there is heart blockade, construct a bypass road. They connect a bypass. They find an alternative route for the blood flow. So all the heart specialists, they talk to engineers, electrical engineers, and request them to give a device which can detect health of the heart. Now, brain is so strange. No one has ever understood the exact behavior of the brain. We don't know how brain recollects things. You know what? Sometimes when I walk someplace, when I get a smell, I recollect something else from so many years back. Strange things. My brain maps the smell with the place. Okay? Imagine, I used to go to a village in my childhood. In the village, in the backyard, there would be sheep, buffaloes. There was a unique smell there. Now in Bangalore, whenever I get such a smell, my mind immediately recollects and fixes it. Goes back to 30 years back, my location. Our brain, we do not know how does it recollect things. How does it store? How does it delete certain things? It deletes automatically certain things, but it will never delete certain things. And throughout the life, we keep remembering it. And sometimes painful. Now, how do we really understand the functioning of the brain? They say there is one graph called EEG graph, electroencephalogram. What do we do with it? ECG graph, imagine how we get it. Now, how to study the behavior of the brain, so difficult, right? All this physics will help, engineering will help, or maybe doctors in consultation with engineers develop tools for all this. So most of the things that you learn in your 12th are extremely useful. You become an engineer, you become a doctor, you become veterinary doctor, or you become a pharmacologist, or you become you take up any profession, you will see application of things. So now itself start asking questions. Now I showed you how to produce magnetic field. Now producing magnetic field is important for our health, correct? From our brain to the heart, we understand the health of the brain through magnetic field around the heart, around the brain, right? Now next topic, I have to show you two more ways, one more way of generating electricity. This was one more. Now one more. Look at this. The spacecrafts to Mars, spacecrafts to Pluto, they don't depend on solar electricity. Instead, they depend on electricity from heat. Now, imagine 10 years from today, you see a new cooker in your house. Your mother cooking and also charging mobile from the heat energy of the cooker. You'll suddenly be surprised. You will see, can we ever see such cookers possible with this plate? Now go to market, ask for Peltier plate, thermoelectric plate. This costs 300 rupees. Now put it above the flame of the candle for 5 minutes, you will see this bulb glowing. I have the video for it. It will take more time, so I'm avoiding showing the video, but you can always try this. Now connect this, keep it on my body. Now connect the two ends to the multimeter. It will show some voltage, very small. But fix it to the cooker. In 5 minutes, the bulb will light up. Now take 15 such plates, fix it around the cooker, cover it. Now start boiling the food. Whenever you want, you get electricity. You will see the cooker illuminated. You will see bulbs. You will see voltage from it. This is thermoelectricity. Now this is also not new. I'm not showing you anything new. I'm only recollecting old things. Now Americans have sent a spacecraft to Pluto. It has crossed Pluto and it is still traveling. When did it start? 1977. I was 3 years old in 1937. And can you believe after 45 years the spacecraft still traveling? It has crossed our solar system. It is the first ever object to cross our solar system, Voyager. Go home today, read a report, make a report on Voyager and come back to the class and explain it to everyone. You will learn 100 things from it. You will get 100 questions from it. You will become very busy person the moment you get questions. No questions in your mind? Go home, look at WhatsApp, videos, game, waste your time, come back tomorrow, again in the same depressed mode. The moment you get questions, you start becoming constructive, using your time. You will not waste your time watching all nonsense things, doing all nonsense things. Your brain will not distract at all, I tell you. The moment I don't have my work at home, I have to sleep or talk to someone, waste my time, create problem for others. The moment I'm busy with everything at home, I'll become a problem solver. So please make sure you get questions. So I've given you two. So this is the second question I'm giving you. Make a report on Voyager. Find out how Voyager is generating electricity. No solar cell. It is already crossed beyond solar system. No sunlight there. Dark. So no solar cell. So how do we use electricity there? Physics gives you another method. They have sent plutonium, radioactive plutonium with it. It decays and generates alpha, beta, gamma particles, which generates heat. And with this heat, you heat it, it will give you electricity. Now, in all cases, whether it is solar cell, this piezoelectric plate, this coil, electricity is coming by making electrons flow. So ultimately, this universe is surviving by making electrons flow. Can you master the skill of making electrons run? That is all the science that you are learning now. Whether you learn physics, chemistry, maths, anything, finally, ultimately, you are trying to make electrons flow. When they flow, you write an equation for them using calculus. When they flow, you use chemical reaction for it. So something will happen by making electrons flow. So we are preparing future scientists by teaching them modern physics. What is modern physics? Atoms, electrons, energy levels. All this we require to make them flow. So in a way, your modern physics, your electricity magnetism, your optics, everything is so linked. to give you some skills. Okay, so I showed you electricity magnetism. Quickly, I go back to optics and show you some more experiments and conclude. Now, look at optics, full of light. You use convex lens, concave lens, prism. Now, I'll ask you, do you think optics is as important as electricity magnetism? Some of you may say no. Optics, without optics, we can survive, not without electricity. But now my opinion has changed. I can survive without electricity, but not without optics is my today's stand. Why? What does it take? The refraction, your teachers are teaching you lateral shift, normal shift. I learned it in 91. Then our teachers taught us dispersion, light ray splits. Okay, I memorized it. Good. I remember it now. Then diffraction, interference, polarization. But ask yourself, any one application out of these things, where am I using all this? Why should I learn Young's double slit experiment, diffraction, single slit experiment, all this? We see out of the box, out of our life. But I'll tell you, all this has created $1 million business. You read physics book, Fundamentals of Physics by Resnick and Halliday. Book which IITians keep reading, IIT exam. There is a good book. In that book, you know what? Before every chapter starts, the first page, they say, why this chapter? Okay? Resnick and Halliday, every chapter they write a one-page story. When in the diffraction chapter, recently I read, they have mentioned one sentence. The diffraction, engineering applications of diffractions is incalculable, is what they say. But when I studied diffraction in 1991, I thought the most boring concept, weird and waste concept. And after my 12th, I never spoke about it. But now I'm realizing, if diffraction is not taught, if you do not know what diffraction of light is, sorry, tomorrow no drug will be manufactured. No corona drug will ever come out of any company. No new solar cells will ever come. No new fuel will ever come. No new transistor, no new computers. What am I talking? How can light diffraction involve in all this? Yes, light has such a strange property. Now I'll show you simple experiments of light. Suddenly you will realize Newton really has given us bread and butter. Now I'm talking here, right? Imagine if every 12th standard student across India could see this lecture. Don't you think they would have been benefited? Yes. Now how do I send my audio and video lecture to everybody then? Same time, only through light. Newton has already done this experiment in 1680. Newton has already solved our problem. Newton did one strange experiment and gave us $1 million business. You know what he tried? 1687, Newton sees sunlight and he passes through some glass slab. And look at this experiment. Take glass slab. A very strange experiment Newton performed. We will now repeat it here. Yeah. If anybody has questions, you can ask me, interrupt and ask me. Now see this. I have a glass slab. Okay. Newton conducted a simple experiment. He sent a light ray. Instead of traveling straight, it was bending towards the normal. Correct? And it comes out like this. Very most familiar diagram in our physics. And you know what? Very strangely, when I was 22 years old, I got a question. This light ray is going like this, but it is bending towards the normal. And no book tells me why it comes like this. It should have gone like this, away from the normal. I did not get answer in any textbook. The light ray going like this, bends towards the normal, you call it refraction, but why is it not bending away from the normal? What makes it to come this side, towards this normal? Why should it come? Yes. Velocity also can make it go this side. Velocity decreases means, should it come towards this side? Why can't it go this side? It can even decrease there also. It will still remain in the glass slab. Correct? There was no book giving any answer to this. But now after so many years of referring some books, I am slowly trying to understand what is happening inside. It is electromagnetic wave theory, dielectrics theory how to apply, refractive index, so many other things come into picture. It is not a simple issue. Now, Newton tried another experiment. He sent light ray from glass. He saw the light ray moving away from the normal. And immediately asked the question, this angle, what if it becomes 90 degrees? He said it grazes the surface. Suppose if you further increase, you all believe that it comes back. Now I questioned you. Why should the light ray going from glass to air come back to the same medium? What is preventing it from going outside? How did you believe this when your teachers told you this? Or how did you believe this when you read it in the textbook? Why should the light ray cannot escape? There is no silvering done here. If there is a mirror, correct? When light ray goes here, comes back. I am convinced. But here there is no mirror. You are just believing Newton saying it goes here. I is greater than C comes back. Come on. One photon at least should have gone out, right? One photon should have escaped. Why is it not going? Photons, do they have consciousness? What is preventing a photon going here? Light energy, quantized packet. X-ray, anything you send, it will come back. X-ray can penetrate through my body, but why is it not going like this? It's completely open. That is total internal reflection, mysterious. No book will tell you any answer to it. You have to find it by yourself. After critical thinking, I am developing some sort of understanding now. I am not still clear with any definition as such, but still I am looking at electromagnetic theory of light and trying to understand it. But now I'll show you that experiment. Look at this. Well, now I take a glass slab. See here, I have a glass slab completely transparent every side. No silvering anywhere. The light going inside should come out, right? No, you won't see that happening. The light going here, it goes like this here and comes back here. Very strange. Newton, without laser, without this, understood this in 1680. Look at this. How creative Newton was, how restless Newton was. Now I'll take the laser torch, send the light through it. Look at this. This is completely transparent. So it is going there, right? Now I'll change the angle of incidence here. I'm moving it down. Correct? Now it is going down. Keep on watching. At some moment it comes up. Now see here. It's not going down. It should have come here. I'm sending it like this angle of incidence. Look at this. It's not going here. I'm not able to see it here. It is not silvered anything here. But why is it coming back from a mirror? And Newton just wrote this in his book. Kept quiet. Newton wrote this effect in his optics book. He wrote several books. So optics was one of his books. After 350 years, this has created billion-dollar business. Every optical fiber connected to every house uses this principle to transfer audio, video, text across the world. In US, 70% of the data is going through optical fiber. In India, every house in 5 years will be connected by this optical fiber to give you 1 GB speed. So I'll show you one optical fiber now. I'll take my mobile phone and show you how light will travel through it. I'll take my torch. See this? Here is a glass rod. Please see this. It's a glass rod, not glass tube. Glass rod. Okay? I'll send light through it in here. Now what should happen? It's a glass rod. It is completely open, right? Light should escape immediately from this. No, it won't happen. Light will be confined in this and comes out through this end. Only through this end, nowhere else. It's open, completely open. So now we'll take torchlight, turn this on. Okay? Now send the light through this end. See the light coming from the other end? It comes from the other end. But you keep it like this, you don't see any light here, right? It should have escaped from this open wire. This is not hollow glass tube. No, it is a solid glass rod. Light is undergoing total internal reflection and coming out through this. During your online classes, all of you have used the Google Meet, all that. They will work when you have this. Today, this optical fiber can connect 20,000 telephone lines. Olden days, 20,000 copper wires. If you required a telephone connection, landline, 2 copper wires have to be connected to your house from telephone office. Today, 20,000 houses can be connected by one cable like this. Don't need copper wire. Copper is a good conductor, glass is an insulator, but we know we want insulators now. Glass was considered to be waste. Right now, you need that. We don't now. Copper is a waste now. Copper is a waste material. So waste is only a temporary thing. The word waste we use in our life is a temporary function. It is a function of time. Whatever is waste can become the best later. The one who is best will become waste later. So it is a function of time. Mathematically, you say it's a function. It's a function of time, right? Now look at this one cable. This can give you 1 GB speed in your house. Internet. In 10 years from today, your TV, mobile, radio, everything will work through this. 1 GB speed. All this because it can conduct light, not electricity, and total internal reflection. If Newton had not given us total internal reflection, we wouldn't have had this. Correct? So now you tell me, optics, electricity, when you compare, you cannot compare them at all. They are two different important things. Not just these two, optics, then mechanics, then chemistry, then biology. I don't see any subject irrelevant today. And all that I have spoken to you till now is only history. One should never forget history, I tell you. Now I'm realizing if I have to learn something, it is only history that I want to read now. History is making me better physics teacher. How? I recently read one book. In that they mentioned 2300 years back, one scientist in Alexandria, Egypt, minus 300 BC, 2300 years back, standing in front of his house. No technology. He had a stone pillar in front of his house. He measured the shadow of the pillar on a particular day called zero shadow day. Yesterday was zero shadow day. And he found diameter of the earth for the first time. Can you believe this? What maths was it? Very, very simple, 2 minutes activity. I'll share it in your WhatsApp. You must do this experiment. Even today you can do that. Tomorrow you can do it. Just measure the shadow of the pillar at 12 o'clock and substitute in the trigonometry formula just sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, nothing else. You can find diameter of the earth. Can you believe this? Maths can save $1 million for us. Just 11th standard trigonometry enough to find diameter of the earth. Imagine if you don't know this method, then how would you determine the radius of the earth? Suppose if I challenge you, I'll give you 24 hours, tomorrow come with diameter of the earth. How would you do it? You will say, give me some satellite picture, internet, I'll have to do a lot of research. Satellite should take picture of the earth from some distance, I'll measure the diameter. Newton or this person called Eratosthenes found it 2300 years back. This is history. So when I read history, I really feel they were far, far smarter than us. Then I read one book called Aryabhatiyam. 500 AD, just 500 years. 500 AD, Aryabhatta in India writes a maths treatise about astronomy, about triangles, about all mathematical concepts. Please read it. That book in Sanskrit, in Kannada, it's available in English. If you don't read it, you will never ever feel that we have rich scientific heritage. No other book is equivalent to Aryabhatiyam. No Newton, no one was there in 500 AD. How did Aryabhatta write about sun, earth, motion, geometry, circle, triangle, pi? How did he do this? That was Aryabhatta, correct? So history really teaches us everything. You go to rocket engineers, ISRO scientists, they'll say, first we see what NASA does, what Russia has done. They've learned so much from history. Scientific experiments from other countries have helped them to design their own indigenous tools. So I feel there is no subject which can be regarded as irrelevant. Anything that you are learning here becomes useful if you are a problem solver. Not useful if you are not a problem solver. You are just a memory machine. You want to memorize things and write in the exam. You don't need any of these things. I'll tell you. Now you saw total internal reflection. Now I'll go back to a simplest process. Simpler than total internal reflection. What is it? Refraction. I'll take two lenses now. I have two lenses here. See this? Optics, two lenses. Now, I'll give you these two lenses. I'll challenge you. Tomorrow you should discover two new worlds. Two new different worlds. What am I talking? We only know one world. Where can I go? I cannot go out of the earth and discover another world with two lenses. But do you believe Here in front of us, there are parallel worlds. There are multiple worlds, we have not even seen it. Can you believe this? If I say there are multiple worlds around us, you all will laugh at me and say for being more spiritual. But you will have to believe this. If I say there are 100 people sitting here in this room other than all of you will laugh at me. Okay? But wait for some 100 years. People will discover new tools and you will be surprised to see so many other worlds around us. Do not ever ask, is there any life on Mars? All that. People say that is height of arrogance. It is height of arrogance to say that there is no life elsewhere. There is life without oxygen, water at several places, and people have been visiting from those places. This looks like a fiction, but I request you to read some of the best books of great yogis, Himalayan yogis. You will see greater physics. I tell you, I learned greater physics from few books, which are real books of physics, but written by Himalayan yogis. One yogi, Sri Young, has written a book called Journey Continues. You know what? The first chapter of it, he says, when he was with his guru in Himalayas, one day his guru demonstrated, he said, I will now teach you a new principle of physics.